Yeah.
Because they need to find a new husband.
Yeah.
Okay? I can appreciate what they're trying to do. They're trying to make themselves look more attractive so they can attract a guy.
Yeah.
But I say to myself, wait a minute. When they were married, why didn't you think about that then? In other words, why are you going to look better for your second husband than you would for your first husband? In other words, if you were still married, you wouldn't have these ideas and you would just let yourself let yourself go. But the second husband's going to get to see better than the first husband ever got to see. Right? And the comeback is always going to be what? The comeback is the first husband caused this. Okay, how did he cause this? Right? Right? Because it's either going to be mental anguish because he caused, right? But that's going to be like a he said, she said, right?
Yeah.
According to her, she's going to say that the mental anguish from the man caused her to not feel good about herself and she let herself get out of shape or whatever.
A lot of women use that excuse.
Right. But here's the
I had a girlfriend who did that on me.
Okay. Careful. You don't want to get your business in trouble now. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing on this. There's probably some truth to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to offer something else. They also say, yeah, but I got to this weight because I had kids for him. Mm-hmm. I had his kids. He got his kids from me.
Yeah.
Right? He has no reason to complain. He got his kids from me. Mm-hmm. And those kids are giving birth to his kids as if she had no involvement in it. There no decision in it. Right. He forced his way on her. Right. Forced her to have kids is what caused her to gain weight. Right. So she doesn't feel any guilt in this area because she gave him these kids. Here's my problem with that. And I'm sure I'm the only person that's ever going to say this, and that's why people love Rabbi Rabs, is because I will say things that no one will say.
Yeah.
Who wants the kids more, the man or the woman?
Yeah.
Who wants the kids more, the man or the woman? I'm going to go on a limb tonight, lady. Try to look engaged.
Yeah, I'm engaged.
Now, try to look into the camera and look like you actually care.
Couldn't get more engaged than I am right now.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say the women want the kids more than the men do.
Yeah.
How do I know this? Because I can't find women who don't want kids. Yeah. Believe me, if there were women out there who don't want kids, I would know about them. Because I'm looking for women who don't want kids, right?
Right.
There's not a lot of women on the planet who don't want kids, especially not Jewish ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay? They all want kids. Every woman wants kids. I can find guys who would be okay with not having kids. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go on a limb and say there's more guys who don't want kids than there are women who don't want kids, and a lot of that is biological. Right? Because men have a biological need or drive, if you will, to have sex. Mm-hmm. But women have a similar biological drive, and it's to have kids.
Yeah.
Women think with their uterus.
Yeah.
Women think with their uterus, and men think with their penises. You hear that a lot. Oh, men, they think with their penises, right? Yeah, well, honey, you think with your uterus. Could you give up the idea of not having kids? Everything is driven around that. Okay? So when she says, "Oh, but I had his kids for him," that one doesn't compute. You had your kids for you. You had your kids for you, so he gave you kids, and you returned the favor by not taking care of yourself. And he probably got pissed off at you for that, and so that caused the mental anguish, and it just spiraled, and eventually got divorced. And now she's going to go make herself look good for some other guy, right? And she's going to do it to get back at him, right? So I've seen this, and I don't know. What do you think? Am I way off?
Well, I had this girlfriend, and she was like 5 pounds overweight. She was about 5 foot. So 5 pounds on a 5 foot girl makes a difference. So I gave her a charming nickname. I called her Fats.
Okay, this part won't go in the highlight clip.
I'd say, hey Fats, let's go to shul, or hey Fats, you want to go to dinner, or hey Fats, you want to watch a movie, and I remember she'd asked me to make her some toast with cream cheese. She really liked that, and I'd try to scrape the cream cheese really thin, and she'd tell me to put more cream cheese on it, and so I'd give her a slice of toast with cream cheese. You know what she'd often say? She'd say, "I want another one." She's 5 foot tall. What is she doing wanting more than one piece of toast with cream cheese? And I said, I don't think that's such a good idea, Fats. Then she like got mad at me and threw the cream cheese and toast right at me. Like just like making a mess.
Teach you.
And then she said, you make me feel horrible about my body, and that makes me want to eat more and put on weight.
It's all your fault, Levy.
Yeah.
There's one thing I learned with women.
It's
always your fault.
Yeah.
Even when it's their fault, it's your fault somehow. So, you just got to get used to that.
This week's Torah portion.
Yeah, let's do the Torah portion. It's been an hour. We haven't talked any Torah yet, Levy.
Okay, this week's Torah portion is Bo. It's the third Torah portion.
Bo knows Torah.
Except as Rishon. Third Parsha in the book of Shemot, or Exodus. So, the great Rabbi Beryl Wine wrote, people who are released from bondage or any other type of incarceration usually find their adjustment to freedom difficult, if not very problematic. More often than not, the look on their newly freed faces is one of bewilderment, being in a dazed condition rather than one of pure joy. And I've experienced that because, on the one hand, I'm really excited about my new life and new career as an Alexander technique teacher, but most of the time I'm just like scared stiff. Like, how am I going to pay the rent? What about my health insurance? So I'm often exhilarated and thrilled, but more often I'm just like scared and anxious. So I'm free of some of my previous forms of bondage, but this freedom is bewildering when I try to make my way in the world without making money from.
Could you do a thing with other, get all the Alexander technique teachers together and form some sort of group where you could go in on a group health plan? Create a group health plan?
Anytime a bunch of Alexander teachers get together and do something, I'm not so likely to be invited to take part in that. I don't know why.
Go ahead.
The rabbi writes, the entire story of the Torah regarding the redemption of the Jewish slaves from Egypt descends into a contest of wills. Pharaoh reaches the limit of his patience in this week's Torah portion. So many contests in life comes down to who can keep his cool. And what does it mean to keep your cool and to be poised? It means the neck is free, the head is balanced on top of a lengthened spine. Pharaoh could not have lost his temper without tensing his neck and pulling down. You cannot be angry, unhappy, sad, disgusted, contemptuous without tensing your neck and compressing. When you're poised, you are by definition in control of your responses. You don't want to live in reaction, you want to live in response. A response is thought through. So I expect that Newt Gingrich's temper will get the better of him, and that's why he probably won't be president. By contrast, Obama and Romney are pretty calm dudes.
I just want to comment on that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that Newt Gingrich has ever lost his temper. I believe that what you see when he looks angry is an act, and it's almost scripted. I believe that he predicts ahead of time what somebody's going to say, and then he puts on this whole act.
Yeah, there's something to that. Now, a lot of people are wondering, Luke, why have you not been snapped up by some lucky girl?
A lot of people?
Yeah, lots of people just wondering that. Like, how is this man not married?
Mm-hmm. I often think that to myself.
Like on the other side of a pizza, that's probably the most common discussion point in synagogue.
Is he still available? What happened?
Yeah,
he must have forgotten his towels today.
How is this man still single?
Right.
Like, what a catch. What a catch Levi would be. Okay. Pharaoh warns Moses to not come see him again. I've noticed in life that most people who warn you, don't come see me again, or issue any kind of warning, can't back up the warning. You want to be real careful.
No, not with the women that have hit me with the restraining orders. No, they've been pretty serious.
But you want to be careful not to rile up people who can back up their warning. So you need to be really careful. Like when you mix with people, people give you a warning. Like some people are serious, and some people can't deliver.
Yeah, like when 3 people from Chabad surround you.
Yeah, and kick me out. Yeah, yeah, you take that seriously. Like because they don't file lawsuits, they settle things with their fists and Chabad. So take the New York Giants. They've been talking big smack during the playoffs, but they keep backing up their words with performance on the field. People who stay humble like Moses don't do stupidly arrogant things. Full of themselves folks like the Pharaoh or myself are always coming to unhappy ends.
Wait, hold on. With the sports example, there has certainly been people